Tonight, in parts of central Mississippi, turn down any block and you'll see home after home, business after business reduced to rubble. And for so many, it's not just their town that's gone.
All I know is I lost everything, and we really need help, man.
D'Angelo White and Diamond Waldington lost their mother, stepfather, and brother when the wind tore apart their mobile home. Helen Munford was a teacher and bus driver. Danny, a welder. Their son Jadarian was only 14.
She got 7 kids, 8 grandkids. That's all we know is our mom and dad, and they gone.
Tonight they're staying with family because they lost their homes as well.
What we got now? Oh, man, it's hard, man.
In all, reports of at least 25 tornadoes in 4 states since Friday. There's evidence Tornado Alley is expanding, with fewer twisters in the Great Plains and more in the southeast. This is the small town of Rolling Fork before and after the catastrophic EF4 tornado. In many cases, people still can't believe just how strong this tornado was. They point to these 2 big rigs. They say they were parked side by side. When the tornado came in, it lifted them up and tossed them to a different section of the neighborhood and left them like this, mangled on top of each other. So why was this tornado so destructive? It happened at night, and it was incredibly long-lasting. Its path a staggering 59 miles, and it tore through vulnerable communities.
I got a bunch of clothes under the tree there.
Greg Henderson has lived here his whole life, but when we met him, he was looking for his home. It was here.
Right there, yeah, right. Yeah, it's nothing, man.
All that's left? Debris and a few beloved damaged mementos. But Henderson's neighbor lost his life, so tonight he's counting his blessings.
My daughter and granddaughter are safe, and I'm alive, so everything else is secondary.
In all, 22 people are dead, including several friends of Ophelia Stewart.
That was the worst experience of my life.
Her home was blown apart, but her life was spared because she was at a church meeting at a friend's home.
We opened the door and we looked out. Everything was gone.
Ophelia hasn't been able to recover much, but she did find her Bible, source of strength as she grapples with all that's been lost.
What have you told God?
Told him thank you for sparing my life, not only my life, my brother's life. He lost everything. My sister, she lost everything. My nephew, they lost everything.
Tom, you've been reporting on the ground for a couple of days now. The storm was so powerful, it seems like nothing in its track could withstand it.
That is right, Lester. Mobile homes, but also homes made of brick. As you look behind me here, this was a neighborhood that was dotted with different types of structures, all of them completely gone. The mayor tells us he thinks 85% of his town is gone. I can tell you, Lester, it's probably even more than that. And when residents here say they're lucky to be alive, they're not exaggerating. It's a miracle anyone survived this tornado.
Destruction as far as you can see. Tom, thank you.
And within the past few hours, we've learned a lot more about the devastating scene in Metro Little Rock, Arkansas. That's the state capital. A massive tornado caught by cameras touching down there. The National Weather Service calling the storm catastrophic. And in an update about an hour ago, the Arkansas governor confirmed 2 deaths as a result of the storm, but she cautioned that number could rise overnight. It was just one of several confirmed tornadoes that touched down throughout the heartland today. A rare high-risk alert was issued earlier today for parts of 6 states, including Kentucky. ABC's Melissa Adan has more on the storms and the damage they've already left behind.
Roger that. Advise me if I'm going to hit anything. Be my eyes, please. Be my eyes.
Dramatic video of a tornado on the ground near Harper, Iowa tonight. Part of a tornado outbreak stretching through several states. Another reported tornado in Arkansas, the damage centered in West Little Rock, where both commercial buildings and homes have been destroyed. Cars have been flipped over, leaving down trees and power lines.
And I thank God that I'm okay. People got severely injured.
Wow, you can see it right there. Oh my God.
The city of Little Rock urging residents to remain in their homes so emergency personnel can get to work.
We had no idea that it would be this much damage that we're seeing right now.
A state of emergency declared in Arkansas due to the severe weather signed by Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Most of you know we activated Arkansas's National Guard, and we have approximately 100 guardsmen that are on the ground.
Meteorologists at the ABC affiliate on the air in Little Rock reacting to the damage as they provided live reports.
We have friends and family who have been affected by this, that homes have been destroyed. And so if there's hesitation, we're trying to keep our composure too.
While damaging hail and high winds also ripped through parts of Illinois, while the current storm system moves east.
Everything crosses the Mississippi over the next several hours. Chicago, you're going to get slammed with this in the early morning hours getting through Atlanta, and then it goes into the northeast.
ABC meteorologists urging people to have a safety plan in place, knowing your nearest shelter and being equipped with supplies. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
I haven't heard a thing. Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah, I didn't hear anything. Stop. Debris in the air. Yeah, we got debris in the air.
Death and destruction across several states after dozens of tornadoes tore through the country Friday night. Here's video of just some of the damage done in Arkansas, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana. At least 10 people have died and more than 28 million people were under tornado watch as those storms moved through. And that's just a heartbreaking sight to see. Thousands of families will now begin sifting through what's left of their homes and businesses.
Breaking news out of Belvedere, Illinois. This is another picture from another angle of the Apollo Theater at 104 North State Street, where part of the roof has come down and the awning, as you can see in front, that listed the acts for tonight. There was a concert scheduled there for tonight, and people were in the building watching the opening acts.
Absolutely. We do know this is actually our Fox 32 crew on the ground right now. We do know that several bands were going to take the stage tonight. And in fact, from the video that we did see
Lisa,
on the inside, we were able to see lights already on the stage. So we do know that at least someone had taken that stage tonight. In terms of the headliner, Morbid Angel did not take the stage. It doesn't sound like just yet, but they did release a statement really telling people to stay away, saying that they're sheltering in place and they hope that everyone is safe tonight. Again, we do know that awning came down on the outside, and it appears that part of the roof came down on the inside, falling right onto the people that were inside participating in this concert.
More than 20 ambulances called to the scene, and we saw a number of first responders bringing people out on stretchers. We also know that there, again, were people in the building when those 80 to 90 mile per hour winds were blowing around outside, which is likely what caused this roof collapse and the debris that came down with it. Chief Meteorologist Emily Walls telling us about the conditions there at the time.
And you see the first responders right there on the ground. You see them with their hard hats on. At one point, we do know that they were calling in technical rescue teams being requested to go into that building. So not really sure who they are, but it's very obvious that they are prepared to go inside that building at some point during this hour. Of course, we'll continue to follow this. Let's go to Emily Walls for another update.
Yeah, and that storm that blew through Belvedere, that was actually a tornado warned storm. So the National Weather Service, of course, is going to be out there surveying that tomorrow once the sun comes up.